Alright, we are finding compound interest. I just decided to start recording, so principal is 768. It's 1,000% interest, which is a little bit ridiculous, but okay. That means that we're going to take R and change it to a decimal. So all I did was I moved the decimal over 2 places, which makes the decimal version of 1,000% 10. Then it's for 1 year, 1 month, so that's 1 year plus 1 month, which is 1/12 of a year. So together that would be 13/12, which is approximately 1.0833. Compounded quarterly, n equals 4. So we're going to go ahead and use our formula. A equals, here I'll write out the formula first, P times 1 plus R over N to the NT power. So that's 768 times 1 plus 10 over 4 to the 4 times 13/12 power, because I'm using the actual fraction to avoid a rounding error for t. And then I'm just going to put that all in a calculator and see what I get. Just make sure you use lots of parentheses in your calculator. So 768, parenthesis 1 plus 10 divided by 4 to the 4 times 13/12 power, and I got 174,980 and 40 cents. So that is the total amount, remember? So then to find the interest, we take the amount and we subtract out the original principal. So 17,498 and 40 cents, subtract the principal of 768. The reason the numbers are so big is because it's a ridiculous interest rate. So that would be interest 174,212 and 40 cents. Alright, here's another problem from Khan Academy. We have a principal of 512, and this time it's giving us our unit of time in minutes. So the rate is 5% per minute, which means R is 0.05. And then it's compounded every 10 minutes, which is 10 times as much as per minute. So instead of it compounding a certain number of times in a minute, it's compounding 1/10 because it's every 10 minutes. I don't know if that makes sense, because this amount is bigger than that amount instead of vice versa like it usually is. So then we're finding the amount after 60 minutes, so let's go ahead and call time 60. So instead of using years, we're doing everything in terms of minutes. So then we plug it in, principal times 1 plus rate divided by n to the n times t power. So 0.05 divided by 1/10 is the same thing as 0.05 times 10, which is 0.5. So that gives us 1.5 inside the parentheses here. And then 1/10 times 60 would be 6. So 512 times 1.5 to the 6th power gives us our total amount of 5832. We subtract out the original principal, 512, to get the amount of interest, which is 5320. Another way to do this problem would have been to probably just change our unit of measurement to hours. Let's look at this same problem with everything changed to hours instead of minutes. So the percent would be times 60 to change that from minutes to hours. So that would be 300% per hour. And then compounded every 10 minutes would be 6 times in an hour. So our unit of measurement that we're basing this on is an hour. So 60 minutes divided by 10 minutes is 6 times per hour. And then we find the amount after 60 minutes or 1 hour, so t is just going to equal 1. Let's calculate the math with those numbers instead and see if we get the same answer. So the amount would be 512 times 1 plus, oh yeah, so we need to change our rate. If it's 300, that changes our rate to 3. So 3 divided by n, which is 6. And then that will be to the nt power, so 6 times 1. 3/6 is 1/2. So that takes that to 1.5 again, and then 6 times 1 is a 6 power. We have ended up with exactly what we had in this stuff. So obviously that is going to give us the same answer. We just changed it to a different unit of measurement that made n a little bit more clear.